Inside the Indianapolis Zoo with Matt Standridge.
Hey everyone, Matt Standridge here. We are at the Indianapolis Zoo in the Botanical Gardens, and it's time for this month's episode of Inside the Indianapolis Zoo. We've got a great one for you. In our Meet the Residents, I'll introduce you to Fezzik, the capybara. Plus, we've got an update on the tortoises. See their new digs up close. But first, let's learn about the zoo's efforts to help save a bird from the brink of extinction. Well, look who we have here. We are in the winter macaw holding area. I'm with Alicia Bonanno, Assistant Curator of Ambassador Animals, Desert and Birds. We've got a bird behind us.
Yeah.
Who is this?
This is Ace, one of our blue-throated macaws.
Hi, Ace. Can you tell us a little bit about Ace and what's the difference between a macaw and a parrot? Are they the same thing?
Yeah. So Ace is about 9 years old. A macaw and a parrot are the same thing. Macaws are a kind of parrot. They're found in Central and South America. But Ace has been with us most of her life. She is one of the birds who is trained to free fly through the zoo. So if you visit the zoo during the summer months, you can actually see Ace and some of her friends flying to the pavilion so we can talk to our guests about blue-throated macaws and other macaw species and what they can do to help them out in the wild.
How do they know where to go? How did you train them?
So just using positive reinforcement.
Sure.
So we do use a lot of their favorite food treats. Like right now, Ace is eating some walnut pieces.
Okay.
Would you like to hand her one?
Sure.
Okay. So you're gonna just take that between your fingers.
Okay.
And kind of just hand it to her beak, just like that.
Oh. And then she just takes it?
Yeah, and she'll take it. She'll use her specialized feet there, just like a hand, to hold on to it and bring it to her beak. One of them.
Ace.
Yeah, so they really like nuts, walnuts, peanuts, almonds. They also get a lot of produce, fruits and veggies, and a pelleted diet. So those are some of the things we use as reinforcers for that flight, but also a lot of toys and enrichment. When it's really hot, we'll offer them baths when they fly home and ice treats, all kinds of fun things.
Like a little hotel for them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So Ace is, a beautiful bird. So it's a blue-throated?
Yes, blue-throated macaw.
Okay, but there's not as many out in the wild anymore.
Correct. So they are a species that the Indianapolis Zoo is supporting out in the wild. Would you like to hand her some more?
How often will they eat? Do they eventually get full and no more walnuts, or will they eat?
For sure.
Okay.
Eventually they will fill up, but birds eat often, multiple times throughout the day. A lot of times in the wild, they'll wake up in the morning, leave their nest, go and search for food, come back to their nest, take a little nap, and then go back out later in the day. So we feed them anywhere from 2 to 3 times every day.
How big can they get?
So for a blue-throated macaw, ours range from 600 grams up to about 900 grams. So Ace is one of our smaller blue-throated macaws, but different macaw species kind of range in size.
If Ace could make the 7-day forecast, what would Ace want it to look like?
I would say maybe 75, 80.
Okay.
Throw a rain shower in there for a day or two.
Every once in a while?
Yeah, they get pretty excited when it rains. You'll hear them chattering. They'll kind of hang on their enclosure and flap their wings in the rain to take a bath.
Sure. So they know when a storm's kind of coming, they can kind of sense it?
Yeah,
how cool is that?
Sometimes you'll hear them making a very specific call. You can tell they're all kind of getting excited.
Sure.
And you can tell something's about to happen.
Let's talk about their personality.
Sure.
Does each one have its different personality? Can you tell a difference?
Yes.
Really?
Definitely. Each of our birds, I would say, has a different personality. Some are a little bolder than others. Ace here, as you can tell, is very comfortable meeting you and taking food right from your hand the very first time she met you. We work really hard to have a good relationship with them, so that people are a good thing. So I would say Ace is probably one of our more curious, bold birds.
Sure.
She has some buddies in the group. She's one of our more social birds as well. Yeah.
I don't know if our cameraman can see it or us, but we have a lot of macaws flying around us. What do you think the others are thinking right now? Do they see the treats?
They do.
Okay.
But I think probably seeing the camera is something they don't see every day.
Sure.
So they're checking it out. They're letting Ace kind of test it out first, I think.
Let Ace be the bold one.
Yep.
A little camera shy. Well, you guys are doing such a good job taking care of them.
Thank you.
And we're also going to be talking with some of your counterparts about the conservation of these macaws.
Perfect.
All right, so now let's talk about conservation. I'm here with Sam Avandi, one of the conservation coordinators at the Global Center for Species Survival. We've got a macaw behind us. Let's talk about conservation of these beautiful birds and how the zoo coordinates with the World Parrot Organization.
Yes, that's the World Parrot Trust, yes.
Trust.
Yeah, so the World Parrot Trust is one of the leading organizations with a mission to conserve parrots and macaws in the places that they live. We work with the World Parrot Trust, providing funding support for a good number of their conservation projects around the world. With the blue-throated macaws, we started supporting the World Parrot Trust in 2016. The blue-throated macaw is a critically endangered macaw species. It's endemic to Bolivia. That means you find it in Bolivia and nowhere else in the world. So that's the native habitat for the blue-throated macaws. And we've been working with World Parrot Trust since 2016. And a lot of the work that they do is to mainly help bring back the numbers. So historical exploitation, previously to feed the pet trade, and habitat loss has driven numbers so low that it's estimated that we have just about 400 birds living in the wild right now in Bolivia. So a lot of the work that the World Parrot Trust does is very, very critical for this species to try and get the numbers back up to where they used to be.
What are some of the success stories? Is there a status that we have seen progress yet? What's that kind of looking like?
Yeah, so the World Parrot Trust has reported some really successful results from the nest box programs that they have put out there. Since they've been putting on nest boxes, over 40 of those, some of those boxes have now been occupied by the blue-throated macaws, where they have successfully used those nest boxes to breed. I think about a year ago, they had over 15 chicks fledged from the nest box program. So that's a really good number if you think about it, adding to a small population. So every time we get successful fledging from the nest box programs, that's more individuals added to the wild population for these birds.
So if there's one thing that you wish the public knew about this whole project, what would it be?
So first of all, anything that you can do to ensure that you minimize your footprint on the sort of activities that lead to habitat destruction, deforestation and the likes, I think it's really good. If we're able to reduce our human footprints on the things that leads to habitat loss, because that's a critical problem for a lot of the macaws. And of course, our support is also really crucial for the work that the people like the World Parrot Trust are doing in the wild. And so when you visit the zoo and perhaps go around and make any purchases there, a part of that funding goes towards supporting projects like what the World Parrot Trust is doing in Bolivia. So a visit to the zoo also helps to raise some funding to support the critical work that people like the World Parrot Trust are doing.
I think that's so
around
cool
the world.
That visitors feel like they're contributing, because they are, through the zoo.
Yes.
How awesome, because these are incredible creatures. We've been snacking, they've been snacking on our walnuts here recently as we've been chatting. But it's so awesome to hear about the success, and we hope the success continues with the help from the zoo. Thank you, Sam. I know we've got some walnuts in our hand, but thank you so much for being with me today to talk about the amazing conservation efforts
Thank you
the
so
zoo
much.
is helping to lead.
Yep.
Still to come, we're checking in on the giant tortoises as they adjust to their fancy new home. Welcome back to Inside the Indianapolis Zoo. It's spooky season, and I've got the best place for you and your family to come to inside the Indianapolis Zoo. It's called Pumpkin Town. It's all part of Zoo Boo. Let's go check it out. Now, during these burr months, we are trading in the crock pot, ready for a cauldron. Check out this one. This one's a big one. And we also have supplies ready to go because we're trying to make some potions. We've got everything we need here, but kind of intimidating, right? They have a class, a potions class, with magnificent Mixie. She's over by the forest area, and you can learn how to make your own potions. Now we're inside the Leeward Manor. This is home to the Leeward sisters, Tara, Wisp, and Bubbles. It's not a spooky place, but rather a magical place. They're gonna take you on an enchanted adventure. This is their dining room, not a bad place to be at all. Over here though on the shelf, you got a bunny. Is it your animal twin or not? I don't know, but you'll find out because they're going to introduce you to their Aunt Clara, who will help you find your animal twin. Are you ready for another adventure? Maybe send the kids in here. It's the maze. It's the mirror maze, and we're gonna try to see if we can get out of here, but this place is a little bit complicated. Nope, not that way. All right, let's go. Oh. I can't go fast. Oh. All right, we made it. You can't go too fast in there, but that's a lot of fun. I think it's time to go shopping. Maybe we need some retail therapy. Let's go. You have to get a souvenir when you come to Zubu as well. How about this one? It's my color. Does it fit? It's even got little mittens for your fingers, but maybe this one? Maybe this is my color. I'm gonna go with the green, but you could also go with the tarantula. How cool is this for the Halloween season? They've got sloths over here to the right. So many different options for you to get. And remember your visit to Zubu at the Indianapolis Zoo. This is the place to be during the Halloween season. And we've just given you a small taste of everything that's happening here at Zubu. Remember, the kids can get dressed up in their costumes, come see the animals, and even go trick-or-treating. That's over in the Plains area. Now the zoo's still open normal hours, but make sure you stay for Zubu, which is open between 2 to close, Wednesday through Sunday, all the way to November 2nd. This has got to be on your calendar during spooky season. Well, just a few episodes ago, we got to meet the tortoises here at the Indianapolis Zoo. In fact, my friend AJ is basking in the sun over there, but check this out. This is the new exhibit the zoo has been working on, and it's a perfect place for these tortoises. They were in a temporary location as this was being built, but there's plenty of grass. There's a big sunny area because they love to bask in the sun. They've got a watering hole, they've got a mud hole, and they also have an inside place. So when winter comes, they've got a place to get a little bit warmer, and the inside place has its own pool as well. They've got a great setup, and if you haven't seen it yet, all you have to do is head towards the deserts area. It is right next door, but it looks like the tortoises, you can see they're napping right now, and some are even a little bit muddy. They've been in their hole here recently. It looks like they love their new home. All right, coming up, this is something that you do not want to miss. It's Fezzik. It's the zoo's capybara. He's outside enjoying some sunshine and a snack, but we're about to go inside and meet him, feed him, and tell you all about him. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I am so excited. We have a zoo celebrity with us today for our Meet the Resident segment. I've got Dr. Rob, President and CEO of the zoo. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, you got a good one today, man.
Yeah, we do. And then I also brought Allie with us too, OC. You know a lot about these capybaras, but I wanted to ask, these things are really popular right now, and they've been for a couple of years.
Yes.
Why?
I think it's pop culture. A couple years ago it was sloths. Right now it's capybaras. In a couple of years, I have no idea what it could be.
So Dr. Rob, tell me a little bit about these animals.
One of the things I think is just so cool about capybara is they are the largest rodent in the world. And one of my favorite little factoids is they're really closely related to guinea pigs. And I grew up having guinea pigs as pets. They're fantastic pets. And this is like the economy size for a guinea pig. So maybe, and Al, you said Fezzic's now about, oh, his name's Fezzik, by the way.
Fezzik.
From Princess Bride.
Is that what it's from? And you guys got to name him?
We did. So he's about 120 pounds now.
Okay.
The biggest capybaras anybody knows about, they'll get to be about 150 pounds, so pretty big.
So he still has some growing
He
to
could
do?
still do some growing.
All right.
He can fill out a little bit more.
Sure.
But I just love the fact that it's a big, giant, absolutely appealing rodent, because rodents get a bad rap.
Sure.
And capybaras are great ambassadors to talk about rodents.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the food that we have here. He's snacking.
Yeah.
What does he like to eat? What is his diet like?
His absolute favorites are Cheerios.
Okay.
So our commissary gives us bags and bags and bags full of Cheerios. If he had the option, he would eat his weight in those. He also gets these leaf eater biscuits, which are basically just like ground up plants in a biscuit form.
You can eat it, it tastes fine.
I think it
like a
smells.
cracker.
Yeah, I think it smells like oranges. I think they smell really good. He also gets a rodent pellet that you would feed your, if you have rats at home, that would be the same thing. Just anything that can file those teeth down because those teeth grow throughout their entire life. And then his favorite fruit is watermelon. He would do anything for a watermelon.
What does he like to do after he's done eating? Tell me about his day. What is his routine like?
If he's not swimming, he's sleeping or he's people watching. He sits on his exhibit and he will watch people at the pit stop right outside at the tortoise exhibit. He'll watch people at the flamingo feed. He sits and he looks like he's just like side-eyeing everybody, possibly silently judging, but you know, we don't know. So, but he does like to sleep, but he also loves to swim. He's a really good swimmer.
Now, does he swim for fun or is it to cool off or both?
Both. It's also a form of protection as well. So they are a very large rodent. They don't have a lot of predators, but any predator that they do have does not like to go into the water. So kind of trifold or threefold, if you will.
And you can see some webbing on his toes.
Yeah,
So
you
it
can.
makes him such a good swimmer.
Yeah, great swimmer. So, largest aquatic rodent, would you say that's an advantage or a disadvantage or both? Being in the wild.
Oh gosh, I think it's a huge advantage because you can take it, you can get away from predators much more easily. Hi, buddy. The other thing that's great about that is it gives you a tremendous place for additional foods.
So how does he stay enriched with you guys?
We do a lot of fun enrichment for him, so we can do a lot of fun food enrichment. He also gets lots of big jolly balls. A lot of training. We are trying to crate train him, harness train him. He's doing programs like this, so this is also enriching for him. But anything that he can think through.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about his food. What's the best way to feed him? Let's say we'll talk a little bit more about reservations and how, the public can do this too.
Yeah.
How do you feed Fezzik?
So it depends on what you're feeding him. So
Okay.
you have a leaf eater biscuit.
Yes.
You can hold it in the palm of your hand.
Okay.
Just flat like
Just like
that. And you
that.
can hold it out in front of him. He's currently eating his zucchini, so you may have to give him a minute.
It's good he's getting his greens in
Yes,
now, so I don't want to stop him
He's
from getting the
He's
greens.
a very healthy man.
As he's eating, I have a question for you.
Yes.
It's not every day that Fezzik gets to be with the president and CEO of the zoo. If he could talk, what do you think he would say or ask you?
Oh, I think he'd say the same thing to me that everybody asks me all day long is they want something.
They always want something.
And it's something like, any chance of maybe a girlfriend, or maybe is there a chance of more watermelon, or is there a possibility to get a bigger pool or a deeper pool? I think that's the likely thing. So we are, I will say, Fezzik is an incredible addition to the zoo, an incredible popular resident here for visitors, and we're thinking very seriously about expanding our capybara program because of that. So I think, I don't know what Fezzik would ask for, but I would ask him to be ready for some upcoming changes because I think we'd love to expand our number of capybara and we'd love to have, there you go, perfect.
Just like you said.
Yep.
Came right for it. He's done with the zucchini,
Oh,
ready for
look,
the
he got a
cracker.
good bite.
He did.
Yeah, he would prefer you to hold the food while
Just
he's
hold it,
There you
okay.
go.
Collect all the
done.
crumbs for him and
Yes,
everything.
Yep. He has standards.
He has standards, that's right.
And then guests will also possibly be able to feed him Cheerios. So I'm gonna give you some Cheerios.
Oh, and these are his favorite.
So favorite. So much of a favorite.
Just goes right after him. We're having a lot of fun with Fezzik today, but the public can have fun with Fezzik too. Can you explain the program? What do people need to know? Maybe they haven't heard that we have a capybara.
We do. So I love that you mentioned that Fezzik is outdoors where visitors can see him, but not 100% of the time, but they can see him regularly out in the encounters area. If you're coming to the zoo, right near the flamingos is where you can find him. But you can have a chance to come and have a kind of a VIP meet and greet just like this. All those details are on our website.
I have to always ask being a meteorologist, what would be his favorite type of weather? What is he most ideal with?
Warm and sunny.
Warm and sunny.
Yep, he likes to sunbathe.
Okay, nice. And he's got his pool.
Yeah, and good to mention, they're native to South America, so they're
Native to
used
South
to warmer
America.
temperatures. Sure. And when it gets super hot, like you mentioned earlier, they can go ahead in the water if they need that.
Sure.
But yeah, South American temperatures are good for him.
So tell me about the touch part. We've been feeding him some snacks. What is he like when it comes to the human touch?
So in the wild, they would have birds sitting on their back. They would most likely be picking the dead skin off or like preening them is what we call it. So he's very used to tactile. So for guests that are coming, if you have long nails,
Oh, okay.
he loves it.
He likes to scratch
Yeah,
there.
he loves scratch, especially under his chin.
Okay, yeah. Let us know, where do you recommend that you...
So anywhere other than his face, so
Okay.
under the chin, behind the head, oh yeah. And whenever he gets floofy like this, we
There
call
we
that
go.
a happy
Oh, there
cappy.
you go. You can see his hair all sticking up.
This is what he's been waiting.
We call this a happy
Tell me
cappy.
about that. What is going on?
So he is, all the hair is standing up on his body, and that is basically just a sign that he's really enjoying whatever is happening. And you
He
can
looks like
kinda
he's in a trance right now.
Yep, and you can kind of see his teeth. He
Yeah.
opens his mouth. Sometimes if it's really good, he'll sit down and almost like fall over like a dog.
What surprises people when they see Fezzik for the first time?
I've had people cry. As
Cry.
soon as he walks in, people will cry.
Like the sloth?
Yes, people cry with sloths, yeah. A lot of people are...
Wait, these are happy tears.
That's good.
Yeah, they're very happy.
Must clarify that.
A lot of people are surprised at the size. I mean, everybody knows they're the largest rodent, but when it's actually in your presence, it's astounding how big they are. They're also intrigued by you guys were just talking about the touch. He doesn't feel soft. He's got that wiry hair. And then a lot of people don't realize that he's got semi-webbed feet as well for that swimming.
Thank you so much for introducing Fezzik to us.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he's now chowing down, but he's had some good snacks today. Thank you, Dr. Rob, for
bet,
being
Matt.
with us. Thank you, Allie, for being here as
Absolutely.
well. The Fezzik expert. So he's a good boy. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Inside the Indianapolis Zoo on WTHR+. We are so excited, not just to show you off the zoo, but to highlight their conservation efforts here at home and around the globe. Now, if you want to learn more information about their conservation efforts, you can visit WTHR.com. We'll see you next time.